how LGSs get Pokemon product is changing. And here's how. So we've been at selling for 7-8 years now. So we've been in the store for about 7-8 years. Really focused on being a full-time store for about 6 to 5. The first 2 I was basically just getting product for kids at our gym. Throughout that time I've learned how we get product. And that's something I want to share with you because it's also changing. So product is going to get easier to get a hold of and harder to get a hold of if you don't know how. So as an LGS, when I first started, the way it worked was basically when I signed up, it was right around the time Pokemon or distributors were stopping taking online only stores. I was one of the last ones who was online only. And once you sign up, you show them your resale license, you show them your business license, you can start ordering product from them. However, you start at what's called Allocation 0, right? Basically, you have no buying experience from them, and if a product is something called allocated, meaning there's not enough to go around, that they have to cut supply to certain people, you are given the amount of product based off what you purchased in the past, okay? So, let's say, like for instance, when I started, I bought nothing, okay? And I just signed up, I'm a store now, I can get product, okay? And then you got a store who's been a store for 10 years and they're constantly buying Pokemon. Well, the distributor is not going to take any product from them and give it to me, right? Because I've shown 0 sales history, I've done nothing for them, and that store has done a lot for them, so they're going to get the allocation product. So the way you got to work yourself up is basically by buying product that's not necessarily wanted, and I hear a lot of people say that you got to buy crap product. Well, it's not that's crap product why they make you buy it. Yes, that's a result of it, but that's not why they make you buy it. Simply, they're not going to take from someone who's been helping them out as a business and give it to someone who's never bought anything from them, who could be gone tomorrow, right? That's one thing I've always liked about the allocation systems. It stops people from hopping in, like at this time when everything's crazy, making a few quick extra bucks and then hopping out. The distributor wants to support the LGSs, right? The stores that have supported them in the past that help make their business easier. Because if the distributor grows, those stores grow. If the stores grow, the distributors grow. So, giving product to the people who have no sales history really doesn't benefit them very well, and it can make the stores who've been around for a long time mad. So, that's one reason distributors stopped taking new accounts. Because I think when I signed up, they said they went from getting like maybe 2 to 3 new accounts a month to about, I think they said 17 to 18 a week. So it was a massive blow up. This was, I believe it was right after Champion's Path. Was that it, or was it Darkness Ablaze? It's one of those 2. So basically any product I get my hands on, to get my numbers up, I would. So at that time, I believe it was the Vivid Voltage theme deck. So there was a Charizard one, and I think it was Draw Knot. Is that right? I bought a couple $100s of them, not all at once, anytime they popped up, because people didn't want those. So basically, I'd get them, I'd sell them for almost like $1 or $2 loss, but that allowed my numbers to grow. And I think, let's see, the first actual booster box I was given, there was 2 sets I didn't get anything for. So the first one I actually got product for was Chilling Reigns. I got literally 1 booster box and 1 ETB of each. So needless to say, I didn't open those. Those are still in my display now. But at that time I was asking, hey, what can I do? And at that time distributors had, you could buy old booster boxes like XY, Sun and Moon. Now, don't be thinking I'm getting wholesale cost on those. For instance, I would flip XY Fates Collide on TCG Player. I believe they were selling for like $900 on TCG Player, and the distributor would charge me $820. So I wasn't really getting a deal, and it wasn't a product they had that they were selling to me. It's a product that they would purchase from other stores. The store would give it to them, and then they would sell it to me. Okay, so it was kind of a way of stores to get rid of old product, but then help out stores like me build up numbers. So I did that for a while, and that really helped grow my allocations. Then by the time, let's see, it was Battle Styles, Chilling Reigns, was Evolving Skies next? Yeah, I think Evolving Skies was next. So by the time Evolving Skies came out, we actually got a case of booster boxes, right? once you actually start getting like a case of booster boxes per release, now every release you're kind of growing those numbers up. So that really starts helping. And people are right online when they say, you gotta take these crappy bundles. At that time, usually the whole bundle will be all Pokemon. Now, a lot of the bundles are like, okay, we'll give you this good stuff, but you need to go order $1,000 worth of other things, right? Supplies, whatever. So, the only way to grow your allocation numbers was buy Pokemon to increase Pokemon. So let's say your allocation numbers are 1-to-1. You spend $1 in Pokemon, and you get not $1, but you get 1 point in allocations, okay? So, as your allocations grow and supply gets lower, they start looking, okay, this guy, yes, he's been with us for 10 years, but this guy's starting to sell a little bit. Let's make sure we divvy up this product equally, right? Not equally, but to the degree of how much they bought to how much they bought. Now, that's beginning to change. A few months ago, with how crazy everything's been for so long, the distributor has been like, hey, we get anything Pokemon. Decks, boxes, everyone wants it, everyone will take it, okay? We can't grow people's allocations anymore because everyone's going to take whatever. So let's start giving higher allocations and start improving people's allocations based off of how much supply items they buy. That would be like sleeves, top loaders, stuff like that, right? So now if you bought that stuff, it would help out your Pokemon allocations. Before, that was never a thing. And I love that because it prevented, like, let's say you had a multi-million-dollar sport card shop. If they decided, hey, Pokemon's on fire right now, hey, I will give you $10 million to get me Pokemon. The distributor looked at him and go, I can get you an ETB, right? You have no sales history in Pokemon. Now, with the supplies, it's kind of the same thing. However, it's not necessarily 1-to-1, right? But that guy who has the big sports shop place can come in and spend $10 million on supplies. Well, the ratio isn't $1 spent is 1 allocation of Pokemon. Let's say they didn't give any numbers, so this is just me making it up. But it's like, let's say it's 1/10. You buy a supply, it's 1/10 the allocation increase as buying a Pokemon product was, that gets added on. Well, if that guy comes in and drops a load of money, and a lot of those card shops do, and not because they actually just want to boost their numbers, but simply they're a card shop already. Dragon shields, sleeves, all that stuff, that they already sell that regularly. Those actually have some of the best margins for card shops if you have a physical store and supplies. So they're already buying that, so now they're going to see this big increase in numbers. So now stores who couldn't get it before because they didn't buy Pokemon before the boom can actually start getting into Pokemon during the boom. Don't know how I feel about that. But I was playing the system, okay? I'm buying a bunch of supplies, and I'm actually selling them pretty well, even without bundles. So even if they didn't offer me a bundle, I would still get the supplies. So now, however, distributors are actually looking at other items too, like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Lucana cells. So if you're buying those things, you can actually increase your Pokemon allocations. Now I don't think they're actually looking at the allocations, how much you purchase. I think what's going on, they're looking at stores who are brick and mortar. Okay, they're going, hey, this is a brick and mortar store. They're moving product, like this Magic product that's not selling, like this Lorcana product that's not selling, and they're still buying it for their store. Okay, that's tough. They're losing money on these items, and they're asking for Pokemon. Maybe we should give them a little more because they're buying these products and no one else is, and they're asking for the product that everyone wants. So why not help out the stores that are helping them out with those other things? From their perspective, it makes perfect sense to me. I have no argument with that. But that starts worrying me a bit, who's an online-only store. I always have been. People ask, well, why don't you open a brick-and-mortar store? Well, where I am right now, for average site space, for instance, I own a gym. Our gym is 2,800 square feet. We spend nearly 10 grand a month in rent. Yeah. Imagine doing that with Pokemon products. That means I'd have to sell an additional $10,000 worth of Pokemon products just to break even to have a shop. And at a time like this where supply is so low, I wouldn't even be able to fill the shelves if I got all the products and let's say it's all sold. I wouldn't even have enough product to get that sold. So that's one of the restrictions that really prevents me. But the other big one is I'm full-time at the gym. I'm there 6 days a week, nearly all day. I would have no time to be at the shop to sell. And you don't want to hire someone to run it who you don't know, because that's going to happen. You're going to lose product. So we'll get to opening a card shop here in a sec, because we are working on that right now. So I think they're leaning more towards brick and mortar stores, or what they call play stores, right? So you just have brick and mortar and you're not a play store. I don't think they're favoring them. I think they're favoring play stores, where distributors, for instance, let's say they buy $1 billion worth of product from Pokemon, okay? But none of those stores are play stores. They actually get sent less product than if they spend the same amount of money, but majority of their stores are play stores. So distributors get more product from Pokemon based on how many play stores they have, because Pokemon needs shops having play to make sure their card game grows. So now they're allowing these other ones. That has a little bit of a fear in me of, man, if that's the case, they're counting those things, that means my allocations are going to go down. So we did a previous video, go check it out, on Phantasmal Flames allocations lowering. When they gave me lower allocation numbers, I actually really got worried and was like, okay, this is the start of that. This is the start of my numbers going down, because these other stores who are play stores can get more. Luckily, it turned out it's not, because I'm spending tons of money on supplies to make sure I keep those allocations up. So I asked my sales rep, like, hey, did my allocation rank go down? He said, no, your allocation rank went up. They're just getting less product overall. So I'm like, okay. But that's still a fear I have. So currently, we are working on getting a brick and mortar store open. I think it'll be like a part-time brick and mortar store. I think we're going to go like a vending machine route, where there'll be like 2 layers of the shop, where the first layer you can go in anytime during business hours, because the location we are getting will be right beside the gym. So literally, I can just unlock the door and right next door is me. So if anyone tries to shake the machine or something, alarms will go off, I'm there. At jujitsu, right? So we're ready to fight right away. I already made my gear. We'll have students in gears, right? Those little kids are vicious when it comes to Pokemon cards, so don't try and jack their cards. But I think the first layer, like when you first walk in, we'll do vending machines where you can just go in there, get sealed product from certain ones, and then you also get single cards. And then the next layer will be the actual shop. And when we can be open for that, we will be. Maybe one day, once we get the wife, where she can not have to work anymore, and she can be at the gym with me, we can also keep both of them open more often. So that's kind of the plan right now. So we are working on creating a brick and mortar store, because to get product, Pokemon and distributors are leaning towards allowing stores to buy more based off of sales of overall TCGs, right, that have play stores versus just Pokemon. Before, it was only Pokemon, so that way people couldn't hop in and take all the product. Now it's slowly leaning towards that. Now, I don't know if all distributors are doing that. I know mine is. I've always enjoyed it the way they did it before, and I understand why they're doing it now. And I just got to do what I got to do to make sure I get my allocations. So the plan right now is to get a small brick and mortar store open, but that's just it. You got to play the game. So if you've ever been curious on how we get allocations, that's how. Right, it's based off your sales record. Recently, they switched it to how much Pokemon you buy and how much supplies you buy. But they do look favorably on stores that are play stores. So that's how getting more allocations, getting more product at Pokemon is. So all those people who look at me, they're like, why don't you just order more? I wish I could, but things get allocated and restrictive. Pokemon and distributors would love to give all stores how much they want, but sadly, resources are scarce, and you gotta divvy things up to each store equally based off their previous record. So, did you guys have any questions about how getting more product works from distributors? If so, let me know in the comment section down below. Until then, we'll have another video coming soon on what the store is looking like and how the build's going. So, stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time.